You ready, Jaden?
National anthem. No. She have it recorded. She have it recorded. Yeah, Charlie. Hey, Medfits Olympic House. The correct one new building. One new building with it and one new building with
Okay, good night, everybody, and thank you for joining us. This is our basically second episode of a team presentation. We have the upcoming Women's Cross Country, the 2nd of September. We have a total of 10 participants, and it's looking like it's going to be a very interesting race. So let us start with the national anthem. Could you please stand? Thank you so much, and we now move on to our host, Mr. Alan Awil, for tonight.
Thank you very much, Alicia, Madam President, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night to everybody here at the Ned Pitts Olympic House. For the second week in a row, we are introducing a cross-country race. Last week it was the juniors, and this week on Palm Sunday will be for the women. An exciting an exciting day, the biggest classic that we have in Belize. And we're looking forward to it. But before we get to that, you know, cross country is a very traditional race, started in 1928. So it's been running for very many years. And up until, I guess, COVID, there was only a single year that the race had not been run, and that was after the aftermath of a devastating hurricane. In 1931 was the hurricane, and in 1932 the race could not be ridden. But there's a long and deep history in cross country. And tonight we have a special guest in the house, Mr. Denby York, who I'll invite to come up. Before we get to the women's cross country, I want to invite Mr. York because he wants to talk a little bit, just a brief introduction of one piece of the history of cross country. Mr. York? Good night, and I understand you used to be a racer as well.
Yeah, I don't want to say what period or how long ago it was.
Well, let's just say it's just a few years ago.
No,
all right?
Actually, it was back in the 60s and the early 70s.
All right. So Mr. York he has the tradition of riding cross country. He has a passion for cross country. But I'll hand the mic to you, and you can tell the people, the viewers. Tonight we're live on Facebook, by the way. It's not just the audience seated here, but you can tell them the reason for your being with us tonight.
Thanks very much, Alan, and good evening to everyone. It's always been a sort of desire of mine, and of course many people right across the country of Belize, as well as those who are living abroad, that at some point we should, if you will, restore the original sound for the cross-country race. There's a particular, very peculiar, unique tune to the cross-country race. And so about maybe a month or so ago, when we thought about Easter coming and cross-country and so on, again the subject was raised as to what happened to the original song that we used to hear. The current song is the horse race song.
What we're talking about, folks, when we talk about the sound, is the bugle tune.
I'm going to get to that.
Yeah, so that's the sound. Just you're talking about the sound. Maybe some people don't know what we mean about the sound.
Yeah, okay. Yes, a very particular or special tune, unique to the cross country. It was the trumpet or bugle that was blown many years ago, actually all the way back in perhaps the 30s, the 40s, coming all the way down to the 70s. I think it was when we crossed into the 80s that they started to instead use the song of the horse race tune that we hear. And so we thought about it as to how best we can, if you will, restore some of the traditions, get it up and running again. And so we thought that, well, perhaps we could, if you will, get some buglers. And the buglers that we actually got this time were from the BDF. So I want to, if you will, acknowledge them publicly to say how much we are grateful for their contribution. They were very instrumental, if you will, in the production and the restoration of the song, the original song. As well, we are collaborating with the Cycling Federation of Belize. We have also the National Sports Council, and my organization, which I represent, which is a national organization for the prevention of child abuse and neglect, NAPCAN. And so when we, if you will, look at what it is that we should hear or we would like to hear, That's what I'm going to, if you will, introduce to you tonight. Now, it happened that it's part of the tradition. It's kind of, if you will, old, but nonetheless, we are sort of blending it in with the new, the modern or current songs that we are hearing. Just to give you an idea that when the trumpet or the bugle was blown, it was a call. It beckoned everybody right across the country of Belize. It alerted everybody and called everybody to attention. It was saying to the nation, we are going to crown the champion. And the young men who are going to be engaged in this grueling journey, this race from Belize to Cayo and back, they are going to be, if you will, charged with the responsibility of crowning getting a champion and bringing back the garland. And so tonight, if you will, I want to introduce or reintroduce that very special and unique song.
Okay, so everybody, actually in my time, when I began racing in 1989, I started to hear the bugle call, and actually somebody present in the house used to be, before he became a cyclist, he used to be in the lead vehicle of cross country with a bugle.
Indeed.
Blowing the horn, Douglas Slam. And the tune that I have heard from ever since I started to race obviously was not the original tune. So you're saying that was, and what we hear now. So most people who have heard the bugle call, what you're listening to is actually a horse race bugle call. We'll hear now what should be the proper cycling call, and it's a tune that in the past led the race, alerted the villagers that the race was passing through, and as Mr. York says, it is in anticipation of crowning a champion. So let's listen to what it sounds like.
You want me to play it again?
One more time.
You remember?
We have another part. Wait, what like? We have another part.
And indeed, it is very different than the horse race bugle call, and I could get used to this.
I know.
Especially if I were to be crowned champion. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. York.
All right. Thanks very much.
And actually, you know, this year we've been reviving some of the history of the race. You know, recently departed Alfred Parks. He passed away just a few months ago, and a race was started in his name. And a lot of our young people know the recent names, the recent champions. Charles Lewis and Jermaine come to mind. But history is good. We need to learn the long, deep history of this race because it is exciting. It's good knowledge. Next on our agenda, we want to announce to everybody, actually, the race was not ridden, the cross-country wasn't ridden for 2 years because of COVID. So in 2020 and 2021, there was no cross country. Actually, there was a bit of cycling in 2020, and I think the last race we had in that year was in March or February, the Digi Valentine Tour. And after that, the country went on a lockdown, and there was no racing for, I guess, a year and a half or almost 2 years. Last year, we got back into the action, but there was something missing that was done in 2019 and in years prior to it, and it was the publication of a traditional magazine, a magazine that highlighted cross-country and cycling in Belize. We did not publish that book last year, but this year now, for the first time since 2019, we have once again the Tradition magazine, the Cycling Federation of Belize official annual magazine titled The Tradition, and this is the 2023 version. I don't know if we can focus in on the cover. But we're very exciting to release this book and launch it tonight as well. We have a few hundred copies to sell. We'll be distributing it, I guess, starting tonight. And folks, we would be very excited, and I think you would love to read some of the articles in the Tradition. So we're launching the Tradition tonight. Actually, we only just received the copies of this book from the publisher this afternoon. So you are the first ones to see it. And again, it hasn't been published since 2019. And I'll just go through, I guess there are articles in here, cycling articles, as well as there are write-ups on various participants and teams. So if anybody wants to get one, I know that starting on Monday, we will have an office, we'll have a cross-country office. Here in this building where we're broadcasting from is the Ned Pitts Olympic House. It's a gray concrete, a newly constructed building in the front. What is this? The southeast corner of the Marion Jones Stadium, but it's the front of Marion Jones Stadium along the Princess Margaret Drive. And we'll have an office here starting on Monday, and we'll be selling copies of the Tradition magazine, and we will also announce on our Facebook page whether there are other outlets selling the book. So you can keep watch on this Facebook page to be updated of where the book is available. The price is only $250 for one copy. No, $10. It's a good deal. $10 for a copy of the book, and it's a high quality book. And if you will, I can actually tell you a few of the articles in here. There is an article about Gabriel Gabriel, up close with Gabriel Gabriel. There's an article on the late Alfred Parks. There is, of course, the much anticipated top 10 riders as judged by Fitzgerald Palace Joseph, and many more. And there are team write-ups. There is a message from the Minister of Sports and from the President of the CFB, and many more exciting articles in the book. So we encourage you to come and purchase your copy at the Ned Pitts Olympic House, Marion Jones Stadium. And again, if we have any other outlets selling it, we will announce that on our Facebook page. Thank you very much. And now, it's not time to start the race, but it's time to introduce the race. This year, we are very happy to have partnered with Puma Energy, and the race on Sunday is the Puma Energy Women's Cross Country Cycling Classic. We're extremely excited that Puma joined the list of sponsors for the CFB, and this is their race. And we have several of the participants here with us. We have a lineup. The lineup will be 10 women strong, and tonight we want to introduce those ladies who are present. We'll introduce the entire field, and we'll call to the front the ladies who are here at the Ned Pitts Olympic House. So we're excited for this race. I think it's the climax of our classics that we have. It is the peak of our season in Belize. Early maybe for some other countries, but for Belize, Easter is it, or the time, Palm Sunday and Easter is it. And so I'll start with the lineup for the 2023 Puma Energy Women's Cross Country Cycling Classic. And I want to start with an unattached rider hailing from the Georgeville area, but she's a veteran of many cross countries, Patricia Chavarria. You look nervous, Patricia. Let's come over here. Actually, my cameraman is telling me I'm too much on the side. Okay. Patricia, tell us a little bit about your past race history, and maybe especially cross-country history.
Well, I've been racing for, I guess, I can't even have to recall back how many years I've been racing. I guess from I was 10, on and off. The best position I've got in cross country is second place. I'm not sure how many times as well, but second is the best.
Actually, there's some big trophies behind you. But the biggest one is in second place. So if you've had your fill of seconds, I'm sure you'd like to take another step up on the podium. That could be exciting on Sunday, right?
Someday, not Sunday, but someday.
Someday, not Sunday. Thank you very much, Patricia. Okay. Patricia Chavarria. Next, another unattached rider from Belize City, this time, Miss Kadisha Francis. I have to look up to you, Kadisha. Again, a veteran of the sport, and you have ridden several cross countries. What do you anticipate? Just one before. What do you anticipate on Sunday?
Well, I'm a little bit old, so I can't speak, but well, I do hope that one of my Belizean sisters, if not myself, can keep this girl at home. But to everyone, if you know what it is what it is. But we can hope, right?
But you are looking forward to it. I know you've been doing a lot of racing in the club races with men in order to try and race at a higher level. Tell us what your thoughts are about the field size, in the Belizean field size. I know it is a little bit small, but certainly it is strong.
Yes, because when you said 10 riders, I was like, wait, 6 foreigners and 4 Belizeans? I'm like, whoa, I don't know, it is really small, and I want to know, try to bring up more females because the field needs to get bigger. We need to be outnumbering these foreigners. They can't be outnumbering us, right? So females, come out, don't be afraid. It's fun, it's exciting, and you won't regret it.
Thank you very much, Kadisha. And that is a message for all the young ladies out there, all the young athletes. You don't have to just run and play basketball and volleyball. Come ride a bike. It is exciting. And it doesn't knock out your knees or your ankles. It's a smooth sport. Kadisha made mention of some of the foreigners in the field. And, obviously, as she said, there are 4 Belizeans who are going to participate. But there are 10 in the field, so 6 of them are going to be foreign riders. And I'm going to mention the ones who are not with us tonight. There is a young lady, actually she came in today, she arrived into the country today, but she happens to be staying all the way in San Ignacio, so she came in on a late flight, tired, and she had a long 2-hour drive to her destination, so she could not be here with us tonight. But I just want to mention one of the participants from the United States is Miss Jessica Chong. She is going to ride, or her team back home is Bike Works Fred Beans. And so Jessica Chong is going to be one of the cyclists. We are also going to have, she's not in Belize as yet. She's arriving tomorrow, but the defending and reigning champion, Katie Sorrell, will be in Belize. She rides for the Cardinals team. And we're looking forward to Katie Sorrell attempting at least to defend her title. She'll be the reigning champ. She is the reigning champ, and she will be the defending champ because she will be in the lineup. Next, I want to call on one of the international participants hailing from Bermuda. I'll ask you to step up. Miss Kathleen Conyers. Kathleen hails from Bermuda, but races on the club team Winner's Edge. And I don't think that's a Bermudan team, is it?
It is. It's Bermuda.
It is Bermuda. You race in Bermuda or in the United States?
I race all over the place. I've been this year, I've been in Spain for the last 2 months and racing there, but just as a guest rider.
You shouldn't frighten everybody else. It's a bit scary, but
It's just amateur. It's the amateur racing, it's not the professional.
thanks for saying that word. That's a good A word, amateur. And I'm sure you are an A-class rider as well, though. You represent your country at some of the games, Caribbean Games, Pan Am Championships, that sort of thing. Give us a little background of yourself, please, Kathleen.
I started racing about 5 years ago, and I met Kaya at the Caribbean Championships, and I've been there since 2018. I've been racing the Caribbean Championships, and then I've raced the Pan Am Games, and I'm here basically preparing for the Pan Am Championships, which is in Panama in 2 weeks.
All right, well, good luck in Panama, and good luck on Sunday. Thanks for coming to Belize. Next, I'd like to introduce another rider hailing from Georgeville, and sister of Patricia. Actually, everybody in Belize, all you guys, you know the Chavaria name. It's a famous cycling name, and one of their younger members is Paulita. Paulita, please step up. Good night. How are you?
Nervous.
No need to be nervous. You look fit, you look trim. Are you ready for this race on Sunday?
I hope.
Last week, all the juniors were scared of me, and they kept leaning away. Don't be nervous. Paulita, tell the fans a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Paulita. I'm 20 and hoping for the best. The main goal is to finish the race. It's always the main goal in every race.
And I'm sure you are prepared for Sunday. And finishing with one of these trophies would be even better than without one, correct?
I guess.
Thank you very much. Paulita Chavarria. Two other ladies that are here hailing from Guadalajara, Mexico, and I hope I don't have to speak Spanish. Please tell me I don't have to speak Spanish, but I'll introduce first Miss Diana Valerio Rodriguez Galvan and her teammate Ana Laura Garcia. Por favor.
We are from Aguascalientes.
Not from Guadalajara.
Aguascalientes. Hi, everyone.
Okay, so they are from Aguascalientes. Actually, I was there for a Pan Am Championships maybe about 10, 12 years ago, or maybe more than that. Were you in that race, or?
No, I just see it. I didn't run it. I just see it.
Okay. And ella no habla inglés. Okay. You might have to be my translator. But yes, I was saying that I was there for the Pan Am Championships, not as a racer, as a coach, but I was in Aguascalientes when the Pan Am was held there. Yeah. Were you racing in that race or at that time?
No.
No.
She didn't.
Okay. This is your first time to Belize, correct?
Yeah, it's my first time here. Well, our first time. Yes. Yeah.
¿Ustedes son listos para el domingo?
We hope so, that we are ready.
Creo que sí estamos listas.
Bueno, maybe a little bit, just un poquito background about your racing career. Solo poquito, por favor.
About what?
Your racing background, like your racing history, maybe.
Well, I'm 25 years old. I start at 2017, but then I have to leave because I have to study. But 1 year ago, I have to start racing again, and here I am. I hope to do my best, first God, and thank you so much for your welcome.
Pues no hablo en inglés, entonces.
¿En español?
¿En español?
En español.
Sí, en español. Y ella va a traducir por usted.
¿Qué? Ok.
Por favor.
¿Sí? ¿Tú traduces? ¿Qué quieren que diga?
No, pero si tú puedes que habla en español,
Ok.
después ella va a traducir.
Ok.
Gracias.
¿Cuál sería la pregunta? Yo me llamo Laura, soy de Aguascalientes. Tengo ya 9 años en la bicicleta. Hace aproximadamente 5 años corrí nacionales de pista, siendo subcampeona nacional en prueba por puntos, y en ruta he sido hasta 9º lugar. Me gusta mucho la bicicleta.
Well, her name is Ana Laura, and she have approximately 9 years in cycling, and she. There have been past 5 years that she won 2nd place in puntos at Velódromo.
Velodrome.
Yeah,
Pursuit.
Velódromo. Yeah.
Pursuit.
No.
Sí, en el velodrome.
Well, yeah, but points.
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 Okay.
Sorry, points. ¿Y cómo dijiste? And that's all. Sorry, I forgot it.
Gracias. Diana, Valerio, o Valeria y Ana Laura. Muchas gracias. And I think we've been through almost the entire list, save for one. And I saved, hopefully, the best for last. No favorites here. But let me introduce Belize's own and Belize's favorite, Kaya Katus. Good night, Kaya.
Good night.
You don't look nervous at all. You look cool, calm, collected.
Try to be.
Actually, in case the public or the fans don't know why you missed the last couple of races, maybe you can say why, or the last one at least.
There was a spill in the Alfred Parks race at the end of February. Went down, had some cracked ribs, road rash. Took a while to get back, but I think I'm back now.
Okay, so Kaya is back. She's actually the first Belizean woman cyclist to become pro. She raced as a pro last year in the United States. And I forgot to mention, no, you're not the last one. There is another cyclist in the race. She just hasn't arrived, correct?
Correct. My teammate Mariana Valadez from Mexico.
Okay. So there is going to be one more apart from the ones I mentioned tonight, a teammate of Kaya, both riding as LA Sweat.
Correct.
And so, Kaya, what is your expectation for Sunday?
Well, the female field is 10 strong. This is more than we have had all year. And with the caliber of foreigners that we have here, I expect the race to be fast, hard, and super exciting.
Excellent. We hope to have fast, hard, and super exciting. I agree. Thank you very much, Kaya.
Thank you.
That is your lineup. That is your lineup, folks. I'll go through the names again. So we have Kaya Katus and Mariana Valadez from the LA Sweat. Paulita Chavarria rides for Team Guns. Patricia Chavarria. Jessica Chong rides for Bikeworks Fred Beans. Katie Sorrell rides for the Cardinals team. Kathleen Conyers rides for Winner's Edge. Kadisha Francis, an unattached rider, and from Navecomp, is that correct? Navecomp is the name of the team, for Ana Laura Garcia and Diana Valeria Rodriguez. 10 women strong, and we hope to see a fast and exciting race on Sunday. Folks, come out. The race starts at 8:30, Madam President. 8:30 on Sunday or 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock on Sunday from the Columbus Park in San Ignacio. It heads one way into Belize City, enters at the Central American Boulevard. From there, it goes toward Sayview Roundabout, onto Princess Margaret Drive, all the way around Princess Margaret Drive, and finishes at the BTL Digipark. That's the route. 8 o'clock for those in San Ignacio, and along the highway for everybody else. Folks, come out and see the race. Miss Yes, actually, Mr. Rich Lewis is mentioning that it was for the women's cross country last year that Kadeem Banks and Edison Usher lost their lives on their way to the start of the race. They were going to be doing the filming, the live stream that would have brought it live to everybody's cameras and living rooms. And it was indeed last Palm Sunday and for this particular race. So thank you very much, Rich. And indeed, I think we should have a moment of silence for those two. Edison Usher, of course, was a long-time cyclist, and Kadim was his motorbike driver, and they are sadly missed. And we'll take just a moment of silence in their memory. I should mention that Edison Usher is the person, the man in Belize who began to do live streaming of our races. Prior to him starting that just a few years ago, we would only get the coverage, or mostly get the coverage via radio. But he brought it on motorcycle. He would film the race from start to finish so that everybody could see it on a Facebook page and on a YouTube page. And so he began to spread the viewing of the race rather than just the listening of it. And so yes, he is sadly missed. With that, folks, that brings us to the end of this team presentation. I would, before we wrap up, Madam President, maybe you can say just one or two thanks.
Definitely. Good night again, everybody. I am grateful that we actually had the participation of our athletes today. The number is small, but everybody made the effort to come out. So we are much grateful for that. Thank you, ladies, for taking the opportunity to come in as well. Ms. Caitlin, thank you too for at least making your first trip to Belize. We really appreciate it. I know I'm here in a different capacity, but my heart is still with the bike. I don't miss it, I must say. We want to take this opportunity as well to thank Puma, who is partnering with us for this event. It has been years since we have had a sponsor for this event. So we are much grateful for them to partner with us. We continue to work together with our athletes, with our sponsors, with everybody, and we're looking forward to a great race on Sunday. Again, our field is small, and we continue to express that we need our females to come out. I believe Kaya was having her program on Thursdays. Usually we get a 1 or 2 women out of that. So we're hoping that at least we get a 1 or 2 more girls. I mean, the sport is nice. It's really, really nice. And we encourage you to come out. The bike shops, they're right there. Mr. Adonis always assists in any way that he can in terms of putting bikes together. You don't have to start on something very, very new or fancy. All you need to do is get on the road, love it, and trust me, it's gonna work for you, even if it's just for fitness, because I started just for fitness and thereafter got competitive. So you could start with different reasons, for different reasons. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much, Madam President. And again, thanks to Puma Energy for partnering with us. And we look forward to an exciting Puma Energy Women's Cross Country Cycling Classic on Sunday. And may the best woman win. Good luck to you all. Thanks and good night.